Hey y'all, it's me, Missy Lynn. This is the 27th of June, 2025. This is Flosstube number 280. Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning, Rebecca. I hope everybody had a great week. I certainly did. It has been a little bit of, now I'm in my post-StitchCon, post-grandbaby visit, jet lag, let down, like that. Yes, and you have to make that face about it. The girls left this morning like incredibly early. When I got up at 4, I woke up at 4:11 and looked to see where they were because our door was pulled too nearly, so I knew that she'd gone by at least once. And so sure enough, they were in Marshall. So they had loaded up and left like crazy early. But they were here, they picked me up at the airport. Micah, Kimi, Aria, and Lily, my bonus baby, picked me up at the airport, and that was so sweet to have them waiting there when I got off the plane. We came home and just started having a fabulous week right straight out the box. James Williams had a doctor appointment. They have released him to use the walking boot and start walking on his foot and to drive and go back to work. So he will be going back to desk duty only, but you know, it'll get him out of the house. He won't have to sit here and stare at me all day and all that. So he will be back to, and he can drive. That's what he's really excited about, is not having to have me be his driver. But we swam, and then Susu came over with Nora, and so they had other friends here. Catchy was here nearly every day. I think there was one day that we didn't have him, so everybody was very gracious to share each other and their time and all this week. Just so much fun. I am going to do I've got a finish, I've got a whip or two, and then I'm just gonna show some of the stuff that I brought back from StitchCon, my haul, some gifts, and it is just going to be this was our, we used to always get some kind of really cool bag. So this was our bag this year. It's like a, freezer bag, which I love because I will take this to school and use this as my school bag. So then I won't have to take up refrigerator space that is a premium. And I have a lunch bag, like a lunch kit. But when I carry it, it has to be like a completely separate bag, right? It has to, it's just a little lunch kit all its own. So then, I'm carrying my lunch kit, I'm carrying my big water bottle, I'm carrying my coffee, and I'm carrying my purse. So I look like I'm moving in to stay. But in here, I will put my water bottle and my lunch kit, and then put like a waterproof cloth on there because I have like lots of things like that. Even you could use like a piece of bottom tablecloth, anything like this, anyway. And then, because my purse is little, so I can either put it here or I can even put it in here and everything be in one thing. So thank you, Barb. Thank you, Keepsakes. I am loving the bag. Rode the Stitchy bus, we visited with friends, we made new friends. Just the best week. If you ever get a chance to go, you have so much fun. Retreats are absolutely fabulous too. I love retreats. And StitchCon is it's a little bit of a different kind of an animal. So it's just, I guess here's the thing. So like, say you have a designer that you don't stitch a lot, right? So it's not anything wrong with designer, it's just not your jam, right? It's not what I stitch. So if that person's gonna be the retreat speaker that week, you might be like, oh, because that's not your jam. I don't want to stitch that. But at StitchCon, it's just you and your jam. whatever you want to do. Everybody's stitching all kind of different things. There are always new designers you haven't seen. Sometimes, you know, they sit at the tables around you and they're just starting out. And I think I have some of those in here. We'll get them in the next week or two. I'll try to cover all these fabulous things. But it was just a great week. Now, I had to stitch like a maniac because we know I was behind, as always, on my stitch-alongs. And, you know, the stitch-along was my idea, so, you know, I had to get on the stick, right? But I got there and I got busy, and everybody, my table 24 and 4 4/4 kept me focused and helped me stay on task that I could get my stitch finished. So I did get to go up with them and ring the bell, which was fabulous. I got all my X's done. I had some back stitch that I did not finish before. I didn't count it because I couldn't do it without ripping out a little bit. And I'll show you that in a second and explain it. But I was afraid to try to do that while not focusing. And like I said, we'll go over that in just a second. But so I was like, you know, all my X's are done and everything else is done. So I made it. So rang the bell, which I know some people don't even do backstitch, okay? But these were words, but you could leave off also. But I didn't film last Friday. And so I want to apologize for not filming last Friday. And there is a reason why. And I hope Christy hasn't posted it and sent it in the message and somehow, me being me, managed to miss it somehow. But she has, and I called it the Gimli Goomly. I think it's called a Gimmel, something like this. Anyway, it's like a selfie stick with a self-leveling device on it, right? So when I film something like, and I'm going like this, and yes, it's that, I'm explaining that in the video with Patty and Christy and myself. It's always jerky and not smooth and all this. So she was doing a great job. You know, she took it like, she's even like took an online course or something. I mean, she's like pro level with this thing, or she'll say she ain't. I'm gonna say she is, okay. So she filmed the brag table. So I will double check and post, if it's already there, I'll post a link to it. If not, I will post a link later this week or whenever she gets it ready to say, hey, hop on over here and watch this. She is, and the reason it is so much better than mine, 1. 2, I need to get my friend to 1,000 subscribers. She has a big goal, and she's told us that was her big, you know, and that is a big goal. That's a lot. So she is way close, you know, she's great. She's getting there. But if this is her here. If y'all will find her on Flosstube, and subscribe and watch some of her videos, you will not be disappointed. She has tutorials up on kitting up and starting and kitting up full coverage and kitting up mirabilias, on top of just her fabulous, wonderful, magnificent stitching. And her, you kind of get little sneak peeks at the new designs that are coming out, which are so fabulous, which some of them are in here somewhere. We're gonna find those in a minute too. But without further ado, this is my We the People. There were 3 of us that completely finished it. There were 6 of us that worked on it. 2 of the others, I would say, or at least a third, I didn't see Ash's. Ash, I didn't, and I don't, if you said how far you were, I forgot. But everybody stitched on it and thought about our country while we stitched and prayed, sent good vibes, whatever you call what you do. That's between you and whoever you send them to. As far as I'm concerned, that's not my business. That is not my business. So that was our intent when we started stitching it. And because it was election year, you know, big politics. And so we did. And we have another one we've started this year too, and I'll show it in a little bit. But here she is. I guess I'll start like this, so you can kind of see her all in one piece. This is Americana Confetti Stars by Fabric Flair is the fabric. It is, I believe, 32 count, if I'm not mistaken. And then, I'm gonna try to get over here where I can see if I'm showing you everything. So here's this. And I did change mine up just a little bit because I can't just be normal and go with the flow. I always gotta be fighting the stream. So the others have their box here like this. And I don't know if I got a pic of that or not. Let me say it. I know someone sent it, if I remember to download it where I can access it. That is going to be a thing. Because, oh, here we go. See? So you can see the different fabrics and the different floss choices. Here's Christy over here, and Ann and Patty and myself and Jan and Harry. We all have the best time. Harry is my brother from another mother. We're pretty sure we were separated at birth somehow for the good of the world. Let me throw that in there too. For the good of the world, we were separated and kept apart all this time because we can get in some trouble. But Patty, I'm gonna try to blow these up so you can see. Patty didn't tea dye her fabric like I did. I dunked mine in tea dye, and she used like ecru and fancy flosses for hers. And she also did the over one on the words. She did the over one stitching on the words. And Anne tea-dyed hers several times. She dunked in several dunks. And so she got a much richer color from hers than I did just from mine. I love it. And she, I don't think she used the same DMCs I did. I think she chose different colors. Jeanne used the called fors, but she dyed her own fabric. She does some gorgeous fabric dyeing at present just for her and her daughter. She just does it for fun, but she does a beautiful job and it looks like fireworks to me. I love it. So, you can just see right there in this little cross section of the same stitch, differences in floss and differences in fabric, and what a big color difference that can make. A huge color difference. So it was just the best thing. I'm thinking, we may have a picture of all of us here somewhere. Maybe, here we go. Let me see which one of these. Here's our 24 4/4. Nancy's in the front, the disorderly stitcher. Patty stitching with my kitties. This is Christy's mom, Michelle and Harry. I'm trying to think who else. Christy has a floss tube. I don't know where Ashley is in this photo. Jeanne, who's standing next to me right here. She and Ashley are We Stitch and We Know Things. And they have beautiful stitches on theirs. I don't know if I'll have to go back. The other girls have them. I'll post them. They were new friends. So we just had the best time, but I have loved this. I think Patty said she was gonna stitch her, frame hers and then put a mat. I'm going to look for a oval frame like that. So we'll see. We'll see if I find what I find, right? Probably not. Probably not since I'm looking for it, yeah. And then while we're here, I'll go ahead and throw up my other two whips real quick. I did work on my, and he's still got the needle on him because I stitched on him a little bit. This morning early? Yes. This morning early when I started laundry and stuff because, like I said, Mick and them were gone. Mick and the girls had left. So I got up and stripped the beds in there and put those in the wash machine to get those, you know, going and get them cleaned up. And then I went in my stitching room and started just stitching. So this was sitting there and I could grab it super easy, and it just got crammed in the, with its hoop on, in the bag on the way back from the airport. So I've come down several more rows, and I don't know if I showed y'all this last week, because this fabric is big enough and it's fuzzy enough to cover these lines. I just marked where I need to fill in the body, so I can just sit there and, you know, go with it. So on the plane, it was pretty bumpy, but I was able to stitch for a little bit. And so that was super nice that I didn't have to get out everything. This is Carnival Cat Knocked Down by Rebel Stitcher. I used the Pearl Cottons number, which one? These. There you go. That helps, right? I loved it. I saw it at StitchCon last year, immediately fell in love with it. Knew I had to stitch it and its neighbor and its little friend. So they will both be stitched. I just stinking love them. I'm thinking I may try to do a perimeter on this one and fill in all the designs. And then this may be my stitch for Stitch West Fall, so that I can just fill in while I'm visiting, because counting and talking, you know. But they are adorable. She has a collection of them, and I'm going to try to show some of them here. You know, you used to go up and you throw balls at them. And Charles and my daddy said, yeah, I didn't remember this. I didn't get to go to the carnival a lot. But they called them punks. You knock down the punks. And she, so I love the vintage collection. They're so cute. And so I just knew I had to stitch this. So that got some love on the plane, and a little bit more early this morning where, oh, and I also just had I had some pieces of this cut also, of my fuzzy yarn. So I could just grab it and stitch without having to take out the ball of yarn and all that. And that worked out great. That worked out really nice. Like I said, the plane was kind of bumpy, and I don't know that I would have been able to do it if I had not kind of done the prep work on the front end to get this fixed up at all. Let's see here. Now, I'm gonna try to cram that guy back in the bag. I'm gonna flip you that way so you can cover up the head. I won, and y'all know, I won a door prize and a raffle thing. I was shocked. And back to back. I mean, literally, they call my number like back to back. It was crazy. I could not believe it. What's happening here? Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to get this back in the bag. Okay. Now, I've got to remember to also today, where's my notepad? I'm going to join Misty's Fabric of the Month Club. Misty is Mystic Mystic, M-Y-S-T-I-C, Mystic Fabrics. And she has all kind of counts and everything. Hers are over-dyed, but they are, like, you can wash them, okay? They're not gonna fade. And I didn't believe her last year, and she proved it to me. She and Michelle proved it to me, and I was in panic mode. I was like, we can't do that. Because they were starting to dunk it down. And I was like, but I'm just gonna say something. She understands chemistry. I don't. So she did something to make it not. How's that for clear as mud? I don't know how she does such magic. It's unknown to me how things like this happen, but they do. All right, you go over here. I also got Happy Mail while I was gone. Our friend Karen could not come, and that made me so sad. Karen, we missed you so much. She was having some health issues, so she stayed home, and so we were just super sad and missed her because she's a doll. But while I was gone, she sent me this, and she asked me at StitchCon or right after last year, she asked us if we wanted it. And I'm sure y'all can probably tell from my hair that I have a slight obsession with the Bride of Frankenstein. Like, I love her. I have my whole life. I have made a little porch person of her and Frankie, which he's not Frankie, he's Frankenstein's monster, but that's what everybody calls it. So I don't know. Like I said, I know that, you know, but for the sake of ease, we're going to say that we're going to call him Frankenstein. But she is the Bride of Frankenstein, is how she is named. And so this is by Meridian Designs. And she is so beautiful. So Karen sent me this. It came in the mail while I was gone. And I'll hold that up there. So if y'all are looking for it, you can get it. It is so pretty. And if I turn it this way, maybe y'all can find it. That may help some. This is definitely getting a start. It says it's on Be Stitch Me Dirty chalkboard. That fabric is really pretty. But she is definitely getting stitched because, like I said, low level obsessed with Bride of Frankenstein all my life. Love her. And I think maybe that's where my obsession with my hair comes from. Is and also my mamaw, she had one white beautiful stripe right here. I mean, it was just gorgeous. And so I think a combination of all these things meld together in my brain. And you know, and my brain does what it wants anyway. It don't care about me. And I think that's where that comes from. Now, we also wanted to do a start for Juneteenth. We wanted a Juneteenth start for diversity, equality, inclusion, you know, all these things, all the important things. And so we were looking around, and Patty found these, and of course got it together for both of us, like Patty does, because, you know, she's Patty and she does all things and does the things correctly and thoroughly, unlike me. We could not be more polar opposites. If I had one person say to me, I bet it was 50 that said, y'all just are so opposite. I'm just shocked that you're so close. And I'm like, in some ways we're like the exact same, but in things like this, like being calm and being together and your brain running on a train track instead of a frog. No. We are absolutely completely different because she has that good focused brain, and Patty's on track. And Patty, her cross stitch app, her X stitch app is literally like correctly filled out with all the things she has. I started doing mine before I left, and I'm doing better, but I'm gonna get all my things in there. And if y'all don't use that STITCH app, I had the Plus. James Williams got me the Plus. I told him I wanted that app, and that's the one he got. Because I try not to mess with things like that. But that's the one he put on there. So it does something. I think Patty said hers only allows one cover per pick, one pick per chart. Mine, this one, the Plus, you had 2 on there. So I did the front and the back. So like, here we go with, is this made to show this way? I guess, because it shows a little bit of it. So Patty got these together for us. And we started Day of Jubilee by Silver Creek Samplers. She is beautiful. I believe she's a Harriet Tubman quote. Yes. And she is beautiful. I can't wait to get her finished. I'm in love with her. And Patty had her all kitted up and together and ready to go. And with her, she had a little card in here to keep everything together. She had all our flosses ready to rock. Patty is the best. So they are beautiful. I'm trying to turn the colors so you can see the colors on here. Are just so yummy colors. So she brought me, oh, and here's Misty's thing. I'm going to show you that. 2 things to choose from. This one is Fabric Flare Tan Dyed Effect that I picked. I think they're 36s. I think she told me 36 counts, and that's about what this looks like. And this one is a 40. But I liked kind of the color of this one with my colors on here, so I picked this one. So it is the Tan Dyed Effect by Fabric Flare. We just got a tiny start. We set what we were working on aside so we could get our tiny start on here. But we got our tiny start. And I am going to stitch on it and work on it. I believe this may be Be Stitch Me. A 40 count piece of Be Stitch Me. I'm not sure, but it is beautiful also. But she had us ready to go. And she, I think Patty got more of her flag done. I, of course, was stitching like a maniac on my We the People because we're just going to take a little gander back at the week before last, the week before I went to StitchCon. And where I was at. I clipped this morning when I was like, where was I at on here? So that's where I was the week before I went to StitchCon. So in 2 weeks, I made some good progress. I'm very proud of that. So I love stitching on this. This will, my Harriet Tubman, my Day of Jubilee will move up. I'm gonna move it up into my patriotic stitching spot. And we're gonna go from there with it. Grab everything out of here that should be over here. Yes. I'm gonna drop you guys back down into there and in there. So it has gone right back in my bag that my We the People was in. So it will just keep on keeping on. And I was saying I gotta do Misty's fabric of the month today. I can get my hand in here. I can't get the little thing open. There we go. So adorable. She is a precious doll and a genius with this fabric. Everything I've ever seen of hers has been beyond beautiful, and I just had a minor panic attack that I wasn't supposed to show her phone number, but it's on a business card. So literally my underarms were prickly all of a sudden. Like I made her unsafe. And I would never do that. She passed these around and they had a little needle. She asked what size needle you liked. And it has a little floss ring in there. And then look at this guy. He's so cute. He's gonna have to go in one of our acrylic things that Patty makes. So good. Okay, you go in here. All right, so those are my 3 whips that I had at StitchCon. So I kept those all rolling right there. Now, I guess because it's sitting here on top, we will grab what I won as my raffle item. And I love this. And so in my card in my card to keepsakes, I'm going to say thank you to Mary, because Mary picked out all these fun things. And I thought they're just smart, okay? Because and I don't know if every one of them did it, but numerous of the StitchCon ladies designed a basket. Mary designed the basket that I won in the raffle. And it was a Christmas theme. And it was all fixed up in this basket. So cute. We just donated the baskets back. So it has all these little, for the crinkly folks, there is, gonna set you off, but there are all those little wool balls in there. Adorable. And this pillow is the cutest thing. Look at all that little beading. I love it. Love, love, love it. So when I saw this, I thought, oh, that's so cute. And then you could see there was charts in there, but you can't, I did try to dig everything out, but I could see, like, they had them like this, right? So they were kind of like this, like stacked in here, yeah. So you could see there was 2 things, and I was, oh, that's super cute. And, it had the donkey. And so, I was sold once I saw the donkey. And it kind of tells on a tag outside of there what's in there. But we all know that I didn't take the time to look into the contents. I was just like a maniac and looking in there. Because there's so many like super cool things to look at. So I saw the little frosty bulb, and it is cute. It is a Teresa Kogut. And of course, we all know Teresa is a genius. Love her designs. And something, oh, that's so cute. The suggested fabric is Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. And this fabric, if you're looking for something and can't find that, looks to be dead on. Because sometimes we all know you can't find fabric that it says find on the back. But that's the reason you call keepsakes or call your LNS or a LNS. Make one your local, even if it's not. Because they will go look and pull for you something you need. And this is a perfect example of this. This is 40 count X Jude Dark Mountain. So it is, look at that. so that's the reason, that really is a reason to kind of curate and form and build a relationship with an LNS. You know, Dreama is up Needlecraft Corner. If you're up on the East Coast, I know Harry and Dreama, all they're just great people. And you know, y'all know how y'all have Shelly at Just Stitching Ink, and y'all have Keepsakes, and I'm sure many others. We have a new one opening up that we're going to talk about in a minute because our old one is closing. I'm off topic again. So this was in there, and then it also has the finishing tag. So it has Chantel's finishing tag in here, which, and y'all know I am obtuse and I miss things so many times. Tag ornament, and somebody said that she had an ornament box that I completely missed. So if you don't like trying to figure out your finish, and that's a hang up for you, go and look at Chantel's. And let me see if I can cover this up, if it'll show a way to get to her. Because I'm sitting here assuming everyone knows who Chantel is, but you can see Chantel's 141, and it's also on here at the bottom. I have used a couple of her things and been lucky enough to receive a couple of her things. Y'all, they are beyond well done. When you buy things at Hobby Lobby, which y'all know I do all the time, and I thrift things to finish things on, you know, the edges can be boogered up and you have to, you know, sand them down, or they'll snag your floss, your fabrics, or different things like this. Chantel's things are always primo, okay? There's no boogered up pieces. And I know y'all, some of y'all out there laughing, but that is a term, okay? Like when you drive a nail in something and you pull it back out, that wood is boogered up. Now, I don't know if everybody knows to use that everywhere they live, but they should. It's a great word. And it's a great usage for that word. So if you don't use that yet, you might just adopt that into your vocabulary because it's fabulous. And then the other one in here was the Plum Street Samplers All Is Calm. And like I said, it's the one that grabbed me because it had the little donkey on here, and y'all know. I'm always trying to get Keely to get a donkey. And I'm failing on every front because he says ugly word about a donkey. And donkeys are difficult and ornery, and if they don't want to stay in their pen, it's hard to keep them in because they're clever and they figure out how to get themselves out. So until I get my house with more land than this 1 acre, I'm never going to get my donkey because Keely won't get me a donkey. No, he says a bad word when I say, why don't you get a donkey? He says, Mom, I'm not going to get no donkey. So I'm going to have to wait to get, or just stitch them. I may just have to have stitched donkeys, right? This is All Is Calm by Plum Street. And look at that with the little snowman and the donkey. It is so cute. Immediately in love. Loved all the little wool balls that look like snowballs in here. And so you can see how these are meant to be used in your dough bowls or trays or things to surround this. So cute. And it had, it calls for 36 count Nantucket Eve, which is a brighter blue. I don't know that I would stitch it on that bright blue either because my Christmas isn't I have had rooms where I did a tree that had like a bright light blue on it, but that's not my norm Christmas decorating. So it had this 36 count seraphim witching hour fabric. And here with it, it's beautiful. And let me see if I can turn it on the white. So you can see there that it is against the white. I mean, that is gorgeous. And then it had the Lady Dots creates a pom-pom, nothing wrong with me, to go with it. And evidently it was a part of the mystery box before. Also, I mean, I don't know. Y'all know I'm so out of loop all the time. And then this thing of beauty in here, which is shown. The finishing board from Chantel is in here also. Love it. So, like I said, if you struggle with FFOing and things like that, you might look into Chantel's ornament box because it looked like it had a lot of all these things kind of together. You could just stitch it and then go, right? I love that. Make it easy for me, right? Make it easy for me, please, because I need all the help I can get. Now, the other, I won door prize this here. And this, I'm gonna pull this card out so you can see it. Now, this is from Barbara, okay? Y'all, I've known Barbara now since, well, for a year, and I think maybe through Flosstube and Insta before that, right? How did I not know that Barbara was a bag maker and made beautiful bags? So the door prize I won, this is a Teresa Kogut fabric. Look at them little bunnies at the top hat. Y'all know I can't. I love it. Love, love, love it. And now another thing Barbara has in here that I haven't seen before is, and of course, everybody may do this, y'all know here again, I'm out of the loop a lot of times. She has a hook in here to hang your floss drop on. So that one's kind of big. Let's see if we can get a hold of another one here. Where did I do with that? Here we go. So this will hang on to your flosses or your scissors or whatever you want to put on there. It's going to keep them from clumping up down at the bottom. So here's Barbara here, and then I'm going to flip it so you can get all her contact info. I'm going to move my fat finger. Oh my gosh. There we go. Y'all, this thing is perfection. There is not one, I mean, there's sewing seams. It's beautiful. So if you're in need of a bag, which, you know, we all need bags. We all need, I mean, you can't have too many bags. Because to say you have too many bags would be to say you can have too many projects. And I'm pretty sure that's going to make you miss your stitching card, right? You may not, you may only want to stitch on one at a time, but after COVID, I will never be willing to let myself not have more than one. Because Lord have mercy. We all got divine then. Now, when we did the smalls exchange, I took, and I think y'all saw it. I don't remember if I showed it last week. I took my bag that we made over to the Stitch West Spring. Here. This was when I had all my stuff together. So I had a needle book in there, which I didn't think to open like a dodo. I made the needle book, I made a little strawberry with the scissors, and then I made the floss drop and put some floss cards in there, right? I also put the little tag in there that I write what project this goes to and what fabric it's on. That way, if, like sometimes when I do my floss tubes, or if you spill your bags or something, you've got it all, you can still sort it easily without trying to go through and see what goes with what. Because sometimes we have a lot of colors in the same. I did line this like Lori showed me, she does hers. So my little Mad for Plaid bag is lined, and Lori Humphrey did hers like this, and I met her at Stitch West Spring, and she was a doll, and I was taken. I was absolutely, so I had to do it. So that was what I did for my Smalls Exchange. And you can do however you like. It's voluntary. And now I'm going to address this because somebody asked me to. And I did not aware this was a thing because I'd already addressed it. This is a Smalls Exchange. This is voluntary. It's not necessary. You don't have to. It ain't an assignment. None of this, right? We sign up for this, or you should, because you want to meet a new friend, see something that is stitched in a way that maybe you wouldn't have stitched it, and finished in a way that maybe you wouldn't have finished it, right? This is a gift. This is a gift. You better go and get you a gift graciously. Because if you get a gift and you complain about it, I hope you get head lice, okay? Come at me for it, okay? Come at me. I dare you. If you get something and you do not like it, I'm going to need you to be gracious and be decent and mind your manners and take that on back home with you and give it to a friend. And I hope you have at least one friend who is a gracious recipient of gifts. If not, call me, because we really need to go on down a level. We're going to have to go down and come back up. What do they call that in school? You have to be something. Nancy, I hear you. She's trying to help me. You're going to have to go down a level. I have never received anything I did not absolutely love and thought was stunning. Absolutely amazing. To the point that when I got this, you can write on the tag on there what table you're at. You can write your name on it. You can whatever. I know the first time I went, I didn't do it at all because I was afraid that what I took would be like subpar. Because, we know some of our stitchy friends are next level, right? And I had not clue. I know it's supposed to be a small, but for some people that is, a Mona Lisa on 40 count gauze, fits that criteria. And I'm not that level. I'm never gonna make it to that level. Don't tell me, but it's true. So I did, and then I saw that there were all levels of stitching and all kinds of designs and things. And I loved it. Okay, after I started doing it, I will try to always do it because it's so fun. And I opened up mine and I was like, holy Toledo. It was amazing. But either the tag had come off or I forgot to put one of mine in. Was it spring? I forgot to put mine in, Patty. One of the times I forgot to put in, I literally found the tag later. After it was all said and done. But the person found me. And so this was the same thing this time. So, you go up and they're all on the table and like Steph calls groups of 10, right? So you go up in that group and you just pick a bag or a box or whatever. And so I opened mine up and I was like, whoa. Because y'all, this is next level fabulousness. It's so precise. Look at this. Love that. I think that is Kathy. I think that's a Kathy Haberman design. If my brain is clicking, it may not be. But look at the stitching on it. Look at this little cutie cut out of the fabric. My zipper pull matches. Look at this little 1/2-inch quilting on here. I'm saying a half, it may be even smaller than that. And completely lined and so amazing. Oh, that's my make and take. I need to move it over there. And so I'm holding it, so I find like, okay, I didn't find it, I'm looking. And I mean, y'all, she even, are those called French seams or whatever? I can't remember, where you cover it up. I mean, perfection. And so I'm like, who gave me this? Who gave me this? Because I'm like, this thing is stunning. So I met Candy, and Candy is opening a needle workshop up north of Dallas. And she was absolutely precious, and I loved her. She is on my Insta. If you look under Candy, C-A-N-D-I, if my brain's working right, you can find her, because I'm sure I won't have anything ready for drop-in links today. Let's be honest, y'all. We're just gonna, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna have all this in links because it's me. And that's me. I was shook that it was so beautiful and perfect, and I can't wait. So I will definitely be going up to see her at the shop. Amazing. She used to meet the best people. But if you are not willing to accept a gift graciously, I'm gonna need you not to do the exchange. If you're rude and ill-mannered heifer, you need to go and skip it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you may have to go to timeout. If it goes down while I'm there and you're ill-mannered, we may have to have a talk about bad manners. I mean, we talk about manners around here a lot. There's little kids around here. So we talk a lot about the bad manners. Bad words are bad manners. Not saying please and thank you, that's bad manners. We don't want to hit at people. We don't want to snatch things. All this is bad manners, and this is not what we do. So if you need some help with that, you can feel free to call me, and I will try my best to help you figure that out. Because don't do it. Don't do it. Don't be ugly. Don't be ugly. Now, I made a friend in line. You're in line, and I'm gonna call it, try to figure this, so here you are in line. And Harry and Ann got there earlier, and we were pretty early, and then we had friends that were much later outside. And so, one of you kind of hold your place, and then you can walk, you can go visit the line like this, right? And talk to your friends. And I met a friend in line, and she stepped out and said she watched my Flosstube, and that she loved watching it, and she was a doll. And we talked numerous times a day, and I loved it. And that is Rebecca. So this morning when I said, "Morning, Rebecca," that is Rebecca. Rebecca and her mom are amazingly sweet people. They were at a table with they were at a table with Dory. Hi, Dory. Just so sweet. Fun table of people. And so her mom came over and gave me this gift. And this is how she prefaces this. And I'm looking at this thing and thinking, I don't know what she's talking about, because it's perfection. She goes, I just make these for friends. I don't make these for a living, but I wanted to give you one. And it is beautiful, and she is a genius, because, get ready, boom. She takes vintage needlework pieces and attaches them to the bag. So the bag is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And then she takes vintage pieces of needlework she finds and saves these stitches onto something that we will all love. I nearly fell out my chair, this thing's so beautiful. And she was just like, well, I was like, no, well, that thing is perfect, ma'am. Oh my goodness. they were so sweet, and I have another bag of goodies here that Rebecca brought me that had something I desperately needed, which y'all gotta chime in and tell me if this is a thing nowadays. It has some lotion in it. And now Julie brought us lotion last year. Usually you got lotion in your hotel room. So I'm like, that's a piece of weight I can leave out of my suitcase, right? No lotion. So Rebecca saved my life with this, because while my face is oily as all get out, my feet and elbows and knees look like I've crawled across the Sahara. It's a nightmare. She had Kleenex in here, which I always need. She had me lens things, what do you call them, to clean your glasses. A spoolie, needle flosser, chapstick, which my lips always get so dry. Maybe that's because after you fly, you're in such terrible shape all the way around. Oh, and here's something here, Mel of Hope. I'm gonna put it out here. This is Stitch and Repeat. And she brought by a little Stitch, Read, Repeat. And she has I think she said she has a floss tube. Yes, she has a floss tube. Right there. And this is Mel of Hope stitches. I met my two sister samplers. I met them. Dottie, I'm just gonna show you something Dottie made me. I'm trying to grab some things out of here, so I'm going. Oh, here's G and Ash. Yay. See, I can see them. So look at these. I think they made like 1 million of these. I just cannot believe it. So cute. And then there they are. We stitch and we know things. So that's Jan and Ashley, our friends Jan and Ashley. So Jan is the other one who finished her We the People. So those are in, okay, yeah. Okay, yes. So thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, the Fortenberries, for saving my life with the lotion, because I would probably my skin would have cracked open and I'd fall to pieces. Now, Dottie, Dottie is Stitching Scotty, and Dottie is precious, and Dottie is talented, and Dottie can sew, and Dottie can quilt, and I'm pretty sure Dottie is like Patty Penn. If Dottie and Patty Penn were to hook up, they could probably take over the world, I'm pretty sure, because, and if they got Ann in as a consultant, because she's the other person I know who can do absolutely anything, there would be nothing they couldn't take over. I'm just pretty sure about this. So Dottie brought me, and I got to pick. She had some and I got to pick. But I love this Teresa Coquette Sandy fabric. Look at it. So thank you so much, Dottie. Dottie is Stitching Scotty. She has a fabulous floss tube also. Thank you so much. It was so fun. We got to eat dinner together and stuff. Now I got to meet Christy, Salty Stitcher's mama, Michelle. And she made these for us. I love me a tote. I love me a tote, and I'm living in fear that Sugar Baby's gonna try to snatch this one. Catchy is gonna see this one, and he's gonna tell me that it's a boy bag because it's patriotic. So I may have to fight hammer and tong to keep this one right here, because he gonna want it. And Michelle makes project bags, totes, all kinds of things. And Christy, a lot of times, will have them at her trunk shows and at her pop-up shops at different places. And they are amazing. I think does she put them on Etsy sometimes? With Christy's sister does all kinds of crochet bags that are beautiful. And so I can't remember if she has a separate Etsy or if these are in her Etsy. All her bags are in her Etsy. My flamingo bag a couple of weeks ago, that I had my flamingo bag from Stitch West Spring, that's made by Michelle. And I love it. Thank you so much. I just love it. What else do I have real quick? Okay. Now, Patty and Damon brought me all the things. I may not have time for that. Oh, okay, we're going to have to make this 77 episodes. I may have to do 77 episodes this week because we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it through even a portion. Oh, Lordy. No, we're not. So we're going to stop right after this. I'm going to show you this fabulous thing and one more thing. And then I think I'm going to jump off and upload this real quick. And then I will come back later in the week and do some more of these. Because I can just leave this on the table as a hot mess. Okay? Adrian came over, Crafty Kara gave me this bracelet. She got to work the Taylor Swift concert. Lily made me this one after we got home. But she was passing out inspirational bracelets. She got to work the Taylor Swift concert. So thank you, Kara. This is from Adrian. And she brought this over, and it was just the most beautiful thing. Y'all, okay, I'm gonna try to, let me try to see it. Let me try to hold it up the way I first saw it without causing trauma to myself or anything around it. Carrie, I hear you laughing. Stop. You're mean. Look at this. She brought this over. It is so beautiful. I don't know if I can turn it further without being in danger. Let's go this way then. And it had, isn't that a beautiful thing and a wonderful idea? I love it. Love, love, love it. Now, has she got all these through the airport? I don't know. She said she did as her table gift also. As her table gift, I think. So Adrian has some kind of magic. I don't know how she did it, but it had these beautiful flosses on here. It had English breakfast. It has the two little pins in the top here. And now I'm going to show you, she's from Brentwood, Tennessee. Maybe you drove, Adrian. I can't remember if you told me that or not. Okay, I'm going to show this. So if you're interested in how she did this beautiful thing, you can get a hold of her. But I loved it. So thank you so much, Adrian. I mean, and a friend was walking around with these, and she was just passing them out. And it is a, what did she tell us? It was a color and cotton, that the dye lot wasn't quite what they wanted. So she was passing out these, just like, so she had taken and made them for like everybody. So I thought, I mean, people are so sweet. People are so sweet. Now we're gonna close this up right here with what Damon made me. Now we haven't even talked about what Patty brought or anything like this or any of the other things. We haven't done any of my charts or anything that I got, but this has to be shown today. So we're stopping with this. Patty's Damon does woodwork. You know, he's retired, military retired FEMA. And so, you know, he still does have hobbies. Oh, and we have two more things I have to talk about. But Patty brought this in, and y'all, I teared up. I couldn't believe it. Look at this. Is that not amazing? I haven't hung it yet because I want to show it to y'all before I hung it up. But it will definitely be taking pride of place in my stitchy room. Thank you, Damon. Thank you, Patty. I love it so much. So that, I had to show y'all that. Okay, now, before I forget to say it, Pam sent me, y'all look this up. I thought this was genius. This lady is the smartest person ever. Flosstube Library. Flosstube Library, like I'm going to the library to check me out a book. And I know some of y'all will probably say, Flosstube Library. My mouth don't like that. It's Flosstube Library. But it has episodes like, so if you're looking for something talking about floss or something talking about notions or something talking about finishing or like this, and she's just started it, but I was like, Pam, that's genius. I loved it. Kendra, I hope you and your husband are doing better. Vicki and Gina, we all can be laughing about hearing the thread, right? They can hear the thread. They can't hear nothing else. They can hear the thread. Go figure. Oh, Audrey, where's my Irish name counts? Okay, we're gonna have to do them the other day too. That's still on here. Oh, Sharon said my Blackbird design piece I showed last time that I didn't like the colors of. I'm gonna try dunking that. I am. That's a great idea, Sharon. That's where we're going with that. But we're gonna show Beth's link here. I told y'all last time, my friend Beth, and she needs a kitty. So I'm putting this up here because I don't know that my link last time worked for everybody. I think Charles said it didn't work for him. So you can stop that right here, just take a screenshot and look her up in her story. Please, if you are not registered and you are able and you are not somehow averse to saving people, check it out. Check it out. It's important, y'all. We can all help people with no detriment to ourselves at all. So please, please, please. My driver, Tracy, that picked me up at the airport for StitchCon, her son-in-law needs a kidney. What are the odds that two people that close, I mean, that's pretty small, you know, for two people to need one. So if it's something that you can do, and if not, tell it to somebody else. Share that link. When you go to book club, when you go to Sunday school, please, 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 any way you can, get that out there, because these people are desperately needing something that we could give. There's somebody out there that matches and that could do this, and you're literally saving somebody's life. Like, you're completely saving somebody. So please just think about that. Just think about that and let it kind of just roll around in the back of your brain. And think about how you could help somebody. Now, I'm going to end with some pics of the kids. Okay, so I think y'all saw where they picked me up at the airport. There I am getting picked up by all those beauties. And then there's Keely and Catchy yesterday when they came in. That is my youngest son and my grandbaby boy when they came in. And then they had brought donuts. And then we went to see Mama. So there they are with Mama. We went down to the cafeteria and played Play-Doh down there. So we had all the fun. Well, here we are. Here we are down there doing Play-Doh, homemade Play-Doh. Which, if you've never made homemade Play-Doh, it's easy and it does not dry out like real Play-Doh. You're wasting your money on real Play-Doh nowadays. It dries out in a day. I don't know what's going on with the real Play-Doh, but. And then, which one's best? This one. Now, we went by Daddy and Annie's, and they were not, as Damon, they were not dressed to receive guests, in Daddy's opinion. But he went on and made the picture anyway. So that's Daddy and Annie and the kids as we were leaving. We stayed over there after we went to see Mama. We went to see them to get in a quick visit before they went back. And now they'll be back at the end of July. They made a cake. That's a good looking cake they made. And the yellow watermelon. Catches on the yellow watermelon cake. They had to have yellow box. Get them some chicken before they went back, because they don't have yellow box there. Here comes Kimmy. And then Catchy with his mama. He wanted to take a picture with his mama too. He said to Mike, he said, "Can you take a picture with my mommy?" And he was in the pool singing Skinnamarink-a-dink-a-dink. And he was saying, I love my family. Good thing you're in the pool. Nobody knows you're crying. I'm going to jump off here and go feed James Williams and come back and organize the rest of this for later in this week. I hope y'all have a happy Friday, a great weekend, and enjoy your stitching. Bye.